Hi, it's Paul from globaltradingsoftware.com, and this is a futures trading tutorial, day trading, ES Emini Futures. And one of the things I really wanted to concentrate on here, we just come from we had the 4th of July, very low volume US holidays, and through that overnight period, and I've zoomed out on ES on the 5-minute here, and you can see there's a very defined narrow range. One of the things we should be doing, and I'm in Dubai, so I trade slightly different hours, but I look for moves out of certain ranges, and in this case we're going to be using the VWAP Predator. One of the simple things to do, and this is the trading view platform, is just to identify the top and the bottom of that range here is crucial, really. We need to ensure, if we're going to get a signal, we don't want a signal in the middle of that range. We want a signal that's going to send us out. If we get a signal in the middle, we're going to probably be looking for an entry below the low of that range. I'm just going to take the opacity down. There we go. Okay. So I've defined that range, which goes all the way through the overnight here. So really, really strong. So now we've got to concentrate on what's happening when we're going to look out on those breakouts. So one of the things I'm really looking at here, I've got the BIAS Depth Heatmap. I want to make sure I've got it on the right setting. I need it on day trading. We're on scalping at the moment, so I'm just going to change that to day trading. Okay. So we can see the range is defined, and we start to get signals looking out like they want to come out. Remember, when we've been very range bound, we're very choppy in a range. Those biases on all the other time frames go really narrow, get really mixed up. But as we can see, as we start moving down with all these sell signals at these points here, the BIAS Depth Heatmap, we're 4 out of 6. Now, when we get this signal here, we're 5 out of 6. For me, at this time of day, 5 to 10 in the morning in Dubai time, we are probably looking at, that's the European gold pit open. This is why we're starting to get some more volatility, more European traders coming in. 5 out of 6 when we've been range bound all night is very, very good. I'm looking for that really good signal. So I'm just going to zoom into that signal right now. Signal is, it says sell. We've got 5 out of 6 on the BIAS Depth Heatmap. We're looking good. If we don't want to take that, that's fine, not a problem. But what we're looking for there is an entry breaking that the bottom of that range. So we've got the sell signal here. We're not going to press the button straight away. We're going to make sure we break that bottom of that range. We are just 5 out of 6, so you know it's pretty good when we've been range bound, as I said, all night. And then what we need to do then, if we are looking for that entry, we get in at this point, and then we're using the ribbon to manage the trade. So if the ribbon turns green, we get out of the trade. You see here, it doesn't. It doesn't get out of the trade. And right now, we're getting into the point where it's pulling back quite a lot. We're aggressive. This could turn green right here. At the moment, we have a really decent looking trade. It's done very, very well. This ribbon turns to green, you take the profit, you get out. Another example of we get a little pullback here, then we get another sell signal at this point. Now, in this situation, being aggressive is not advisable because we don't know if it's going to find this previous pivot of support. So you've got to look at really this sort of entry below this previous pivot. You know, it doesn't actually do that until we get some really big momentum to come down, and this is where we are right now. So the VWAP Predator is very good in spotting those potential buys or sells. It works both off price action and volume behavior around the VWAP and also the Fib Extensions of the VWAP. So it's a very, very complex strategy, but everything's done behind the scenes, very simple to follow. We've got two great signals here. But that ability to understand that we have a very narrow range overnight is very important. That is framing your chart. So we're not going to be taking any of these signals here because we just don't know if they're just going to bounce back up. Now, getting that signal coming out of that range is the signal that we are after. We get in that trade, fantastic. If we don't get in that one, we've got another opportunity after a pullback back into the Fib. These are the Fib extensions from that VWAP on the dotted blue line there. We get another sell signal at that point. You can either be aggressive or, in my case, I would be conservative. And we're coming out to, to give that a, it's a really great trade. We're still in this until the green, the ribbon turns green at that point there. So it's a decent looking trade here. We're 4486 and we're at 4473. So that's 10 ticks, 10 points. 40 ticks at this point. So about 45 ticks in profit for that original trade there, which is not a bad trade from overnight. A lot of the time, I like to trade those purely because there's less volatility. There's less chance of it turning around on you. Obviously, you've got to keep an eye on that economic data points from Europe, but in reality, if we break out one of those overnight ranges in the Dubai morning, very early in the European morning, when that gold pit open and all those European traders start to come to trade, we usually define the direction for the day, and this is a really great move. Now, obviously, when the US Open happens and we get that pre-market session with all those pre-market orders and activity for stocks, that can change these indexes. But this time of day, this type of trade with a VWAP Predator is very, very simple to trade. Again, I'm going to put the links down below. This is a trading view version. I've had to use my other account for this because I've got my other one with live data on another screen with other charts. But I thought I'd just come and share this. It's very important to understand that that overnight range and looking for those signals to get you out. Now, there's lots of different strategies, lots of different signals, but I've used the VWAP Predator here purely because it actually looks at volume and price action and that VWAP and the Fib extensions for that VWAP. Sounds very complicated, does all the calculations behind the scenes and prints buy or sell. You need to understand what's going off with support and resistance and those overnight ranges like we've just done there. And one of the things I really wanted to reiterate again here is that when we're getting these signals and we've been range bound all night, a lot of the higher time frames have gone very, very flat. So I'm looking at the BIAS Depth Heatmap. 5 out of 6 for me is enough to get that signal because it's, we can see that this red is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. The heat map's filling out, so the momentum is pushing to the downside. If we were to get a buy signal there and we're all red, we just wouldn't take it. So 5 out of 6 was enough for me, and we're good to go. So I'm going to put the links down below for the BIAS Depth Heatmap and the VWAP Predator combined together. For lots of different platforms, it is a great trading strategy for trading futures, day trading futures.